I do everything right. I track my spending, I save a little bit each month, but I look at my account and I'm always just one surprise car repair, one unexpected bill away from zero. It feels like I'm running as fast as I can just to stay in the same place. What am I missing?
You're asking a question about numbers, but the real answer is in psychology.
Psychology? I thought we were talking about money, budgets, investments, things I can control.
We are, but most people think building wealth is like building a wall, brick by brick. They believe if they just save enough bricks, they will eventually have a fortress.
That sounds logical. It's what I'm trying to do.
It is logical, but it's also why they feel trapped. The real problem isn't the size of your salary or the details of your budget. It's the invisible script you're using to make decisions about that money. And almost everyone is given the wrong script from childhood.
The wrong script? What do you mean?
There are two. The first one is about scarcity. The second is about abundance. One is a cage, the other is a key, but they look almost identical from the inside.
Okay, I feel like I'm probably in the cage then. How do I know which script I'm using?
Let's start with the most basic idea, money itself. How do you see it? People operating from scarcity see money as a finite resource, like a cake.
A cake?
Yes, there is only one cake. If I take a big piece, there is less for you. This belief feels true because it's how we first experience resources. The number of cookies in the jar is limited. The hours in a day are limited. Our parents' money seemed limited.
Right. When it's gone, it's gone. So I have to protect my slice.
Exactly. Your primary goal becomes protection, not growth. You focus on defense. You worry about losing what you have. This mindset quietly fails because a small slice of cake, no matter how well you protect it, will never make you full. It just makes you hungry and anxious.
So what's the other way to see it?
The other script sees money not as a cake, but as a river.
A river?
It flows. It's dynamic. It can shrink and it can grow. The goal isn't to hold a bucket of water from the river. The goal is to learn how to redirect the flow or even create a new stream. You don't get wealthy by capturing money, but by circulating value. You have to cultivate this ability.
Okay, circulating value sounds a bit abstract. What does that actually look like?
Think of two graphic designers. Designer A charges by the hour. Her income is a cake. She has 24 hours in a day, so there's a hard limit on her slice. To earn more, she has to work more, but her time is finite.
That's most people. That's me and my job.
Designer B spends a month creating a set of high-quality design templates. She sells them online. She can sell 10 or 10,000. The cake is no longer a fixed size. She created a stream of value that flows to her, even while she sleeps. She chose to build a system, not just sell her time. That thinking is different.
So it's about creating something that isn't tied to your own hours. But that requires seeing an opportunity in the first place. I don't see opportunities like that. I just see problems.
That is the second turning point, how you view problems.
For me, a problem is a threat. My car breaks down. That's a problem. It costs me money I don't have. It's pure stress.
That's the scarcity script. A problem is a loss, a source of danger. It's a natural human instinct designed to keep us safe. Avoid risk, avoid pain, survive.
And what's wrong with that? It seems pretty smart to avoid problems.
It keeps you safe, but it also keeps you poor. Because in the modern world, every single business, every single product, every single job exists for one reason. It solves a problem for someone. A problem is just a signal of an unmet need.
An unmet need.
The person with the abundance script doesn't just see the problem. They see the unmet need behind it. They see the value that is waiting to be created. An opportunity is simply a problem that you have chosen to solve.
Can you give me an example?
Imagine two people are standing in a very long, slow-moving line at the only good coffee shop in their neighborhood. The first person, using the scarcity script, thinks, "This is so annoying. What a waste of my time. I'll just go home." He sees the problem as a personal inconvenience, a constraint on his day.
I am definitely that first person.
The second person, using the abundance script, sees the exact same line and thinks, "Wow, look at this demand. Everyone here wants good coffee but hates waiting. There is a huge unmet need."
So what does that person do?
Maybe they think, what if I built a mobile app for this shop so people could order ahead? Or maybe this neighborhood is big enough for a second coffee shop. They might even start a small delivery service for the offices nearby. They see the problem not as a barrier, but as a doorway.
They see the same facts but draw a completely different conclusion.
They perceive the situation differently. For one person, the long line is proof of scarcity. Scarcity of time, scarcity of good coffee. For the other, the same line is proof of abundance, an abundance of customers, of opportunity. Nothing about the coffee shop changed, only the internal script of the person watching.
Okay, I think I understand that. But acting on it, that takes resources. It takes money to start a coffee delivery service. It takes skill to build an app. I don't have those things. I have a small amount of savings, a 9-to-5 job, and that's it.
And that brings us to the third turning point, how you view your resources.
I view them as limited, something to protect. I save my money, I do my job to protect my salary. That's what a responsible person does.
The scarcity script tells you to hoard your resources. Put your money in a safe place. Don't risk your time on unproven ideas. Don't spend money on a new skill unless it's guaranteed to pay off. It feels very responsible.
But
resources that are hoarded cannot grow. Money sitting in a low-interest bank account is actually losing value to inflation. Skills that aren't updated become irrelevant. Your time spent only on safe, predictable tasks never increases in value. Hoarding is a slow death.
So the abundance script says to be reckless? Spend everything?
No, it says to invest your resources. There's a critical difference. The goal is to leverage what you have to create more. Let's say you have $1,000 in savings. Scarcity tells you to hide it in your savings account, where it earns almost nothing. It feels safe. Abundance asks, how can I use this $1,000 to create $2,000?
Right. Investing in the stock market or something.
That is one way, but it could also be investing in yourself. Maybe you use that money to take a course in data analytics, a skill your company desperately needs. That one-time investment could lead to a promotion and a $10,000 raise. You leveraged your money to increase your earning power.
So you're not just spending it, you're converting it into a more valuable form.
Precisely. Or maybe you use that money to buy a better piece of equipment that helps you do your freelance work twice as fast. You leveraged your money to create more time. The person with an abundance mindset sees their money, time, and skills not as a final score to be protected, but as fuel to be burned for growth.
If this is all true, if it's just a mindset, then why do so many smart, hardworking people stay stuck? Why do people who try to start businesses fail? This abundance idea sounds great, but it feels unrealistic when my bills are due next week.
Because changing your script is not an event, it's a process, and it feels unnatural. Your brain is designed for scarcity. For thousands of years, focusing on the lion in the grass, the immediate threat, was the best way to survive. The person who spent their time daydreaming about new ways to hunt probably got eaten.
So we are fighting our own biology.
In a way, and we are fighting our upbringing. We are taught to get a good job, a stable salary, and avoid risk. That is a well-intentioned script designed to keep you from failing, but it also, by its very nature, prevents you from truly succeeding in a big way. To build lasting wealth, you need a system that can sustain growth. The scarcity script cannot sustain growth. It is designed only for survival. It burns you out. You're always focused on cutting costs, on fear, on what might go wrong. The abundance script is the only one that creates the energy needed for growth, because it focuses on opportunity, on value creation, on what could go right.
So how does this all fit together? It's a lot to hold in my head.
It's simpler than it sounds. It's an operating system that runs in the background. It connects everything. You start by changing how you perceive the world around you. You see problems not as threats, but as clues where value is needed.
The coffee shop line.
Exactly. Then, seeing that opportunity, you decide to cultivate the skill or knowledge needed to solve that problem.
The data analytics course.
Then you leverage your existing resources, your time, your money, your network, to build a solution, even a small one.
Using the $1,000 to buy the course or the equipment.
And by doing this repeatedly, you create a cycle of growth. Each small win generates more resources, more confidence, and more skills. This is how you sustain momentum. It all starts by rejecting the idea that your situation is a permanent constraint. You begin to see the world as a place of possibility, not limitations.
So, if I understand this, instead of seeing my small salary as a permanent constraint, I should focus on how I can cultivate a new skill that the market values.
Yes.
And I need to change how I perceive the daily annoyances at my job. Maybe they aren't just annoyances. Maybe they are opportunities I'm not seeing.
Go on.
So I could maybe leverage my current position at the company to solve one of those problems. And doing that, solving problems for others, is what would sustain my career growth and eventually my wealth. It's not about finding a magic investment. It's about changing how I operate.
The money was never the goal. It's just the scoreboard. The real game is becoming a person who consistently sees and creates value. The money is just a side effect of that transformation.
So the cage was never locked. I was just holding the key the whole time.